So there's this game of rock, paper, scissors that they use. It's this concept of free money at the bank. There might be a plausible example for why somebody would believe that it's not free money at the bank, even if you put your freed up money at the bank that you already worked for. Because in a sense, one person might say, no, you have to work for money. It's not free money at the bank. And so there's a way that person might be right. And it's the rock, paper, scissors game at the World Economic Forum. And they know that you can make free money at the bank if you cancel your debts by playing rock, paper, scissors. If you ask for reparations, you live between a meth head and a pilgrim from an international crisis, a war-torn situation. Okay, they had to flee their country. If you had to flee your country, you live between a reparations payee and a meth head. And if you ask for reparations, and you live between ways like rock, paper, scissors. And in that way, it cancels all those different forms of subsidy. One is a lifestyle habit they can't sustain and they steal from other people. One is they were out of a crisis where you can't blame them. They had to go searching for a new settlement, place to settle. It doesn't mean that they want to be turned into colonialists or anything like that. It just means that they're a pilgrim. There's nothing wrong with it. That's the whole point I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to shame anybody. And then if you accept reparations from the government, which would be in the form of how you can check out all these PPP loans, or you can vote for who gives you the stimulus payouts or something like that. Like a situation where it's a crisis where you are allowed to buy votes. Where before they say that's wrong, you're not supposed to be able to buy votes. Well, for this situation, it's different, and it's a scam. Because for this time, it's a different reason for you to break your rule. So that's how scams go. Yeah, I don't have to point fingers anywhere. Everybody knows who they are. And you shouldn't be ashamed. Like, there's pilgrims, they need somewhere to go and everything. We created a crisis for them. But, if you want to hit the same people, that created a pandemic, because it's a well-known fact that, biolabs, right? It's documented by at this point, everybody knows that it was not the natural created pandemic that every 100 years we can expect. So if we just had a pandemic that came and it wasn't the natural pandemic that's supposed to come every 100 years, then what's this disease X? Like, do we get hit back to back now or something? Are we supposed to expect a natural event pandemic to happen like every 4-5 years now or something like that, because people weren't getting the flu shot before? Like, this could all just be because people stopped getting the flu shot back in early 2000s and shit, like 2000 and shit. People were thinking that they might have been gaining the genome or some shit. But just because they can gain the genome, it doesn't mean that they can preempt genetics, and at their best attempt is just a scant chance. Then what do you expect? And almost like they're blaming us for subscribing to their methodology. And so you can pay for it as much as you can stand to believe in this. And it's not that it's mind-blowing, it's that plausible deniability became the commodity that can be kind of So they outsourced the cultivation of this commodity. So where other people had to host and like kind of like you have to be a host for it, and then they'll come and collect it when it's time for them to collect it. And in a sense of the occult, they come like the pest control guy. Like he's like telling you like no, like this. Behind his back, he's got a big ass mallet. He's gonna smack the mallet. You know, like the guy telling you he's gonna, the Terminix guy, their sanitation, you know, pest control, sanitary or sanitation. They gotta convince you that they're sanitary workers. I don't think which Johnson is it? I get confused with the Johnson. I'm getting Robert Johnson. You know, Linton Kwesi Johnson was really a commie. Like, even though his lyrics and all his music was communist, like, he doesn't necessarily mean that he's a true shiner and a commie today. I used to listen to him. If you listen to him and then you would think I voted for Biden. But that, you got to understand, that was back in the 80s and the 90s and shit. So the psyops won't work if they tried anything like that on me. I would smell it out, like, and it would be like I would let it rock so I can learn more about it. Because apparently they tried to take some impetus or something from, you know, mundane conversations that I have over here and over there. It doesn't, you know, really blow my mind if something can be spoofed on, you know, because they don't know them and they don't know them. It's this fucking technology could tie it all together, so it's not surprising. Shouldn't be, really. And it should be so easily to facilitate that you wouldn't even be impressed. How about that? I'm not getting mad. That's just regular. That's just how it is. You understand?